so how do I get my mindset into weight loss mode? Number one, I'd have to say I have to have an attainable goal, right? I have to have something that I know that I can reach for, and I'm going to have to develop a way to get there. Number one, I'm going to have a vision. And I have to ask myself a big question. What do I want my life to be like? What do I want my lifestyle to be like? Because that's what I need to build. Where do I want to go with all of this? How do I want to live? And I need to get that vision of what that looks like. And I need to realize, what kinds of materials am I using to build that lifestyle? Are they materials that are going to last, or shoddy materials that aren't going to last very long? Number two, I make a plan to reach that goal. One big way that helps me to do that is to look at experience and expertise from other people who have been there. I have a vast array of cookbooks and diet books, so to speak, and just doctors and regular people who have just, come up with so many wonderful ideas. And I'm able to just pick and glean from those ideas in order to build just the kind of lifestyle that I want to construct. And so I just carefully pick that out, and I keep going back to my goal. YouTube is an excellent resource because we have this marvelous community. We can connect with other people who are on the same journey. We can take from people who are reaching ahead, people who have already been there. We can, a three-stranded cord is, very hard to break. So, connecting with others who have been there is great, step by step, just building it one block at a time. You will reach the goal eventually. I think another thing to remember is there's going to be, rocks and stumbles along the way, and it's just really important to keep going back to your goal and back to that vision and not to get waylaid. So just keep positive no matter what, and don't get that goal out of your sight. And you've found the solution if you've already put together a plan. It's all it needs is for you to stick with it, for us to stick with it, for me to stick with it in order to get the results. And again, we have this marvelous community to get connected with when we have those weaker moments, or those moments that we fall into, some sort of a stumble somehow. It's really about retraining your mind in order to make what seemed impossible possible. All right, body. What do you do for your body to help you succeed? Well, I try to stay on course, and just like I said, I remember my goal, and every day, about 6 days a week, I get up and I take my walk in the treadmill, and then I do my Pilates. I try to work in some, maybe trampoline work during the day, take the kids for a bike ride. Anytime I just try to stay fit and be active, that's great. I mean, the other day I went to, I did my Pilates, my walking in the morning, but I did a shorter version of the Pilates, and I thought I had fully intended to come back and do another 1.5 miles on the treadmill, and I couldn't get to it. But over the course of the day, I ended up taking the kids on a bike ride, which was about 40 minutes, and then we played at the park, and then later on in the day, we went swimming, and we were swimming for about an hour. And so I don't normally count those times where I'm active and doing that as activity. And I think just because we're having fun, and it's actually the lifestyle that I want to live. I want to live a lifestyle that is active. Sometimes I want to have just regular old exercise because it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like I have that alone time. And sometimes I really need that. I'm the kind of person that does need a little bit of time to myself once in a while. But what I really want to do is I want to develop a lifestyle that is active. I want to be an elderly person one day that's able to take care of myself, and that, I won't have to be a burden on my kids if at all possible, right? And so I want to be able to take them back to Knott's Berry Farm. We're really fond of going there, and I want to be able to get on the rides with them, and I want to be able to walk all day long without having to find a bench every 20 minutes because mom's out of breath, right? So every morning I come in here and I try to do my best, right? I get on that treadmill, and it's not, it's a pleasure. It's not a pain, right? Recently I started this Pilates Pro chair, and I've been pretty regular on this for at least 2 months now, and it really has made a big difference. It's really taken off some, well, an inch and a half or so off of my waist, really more like an inch and a quarter. A good solid inch and a quarter, though. It's a good construction, and it's a real pleasure to use this in the morning. I think I would really, really miss this if I didn't have it. Okay, water is a huge factor, and I can't state that enough. I live in the desert. It's well over 100 degrees all the time, and I need water in order for me to make a success of what I'm doing and get to my goal, in order to flush out, all the ick that I want out of my body. Trying to lean on water-rich foods is another thing. I've been trying to up my game on fruits and veggies and whole grains. Although I do try to stick with a balanced diet, and it's always hard. Once in a while we have those battles, but for the most part, I want to lean on these cruciferous veggies and the veggies and fruits that are going to help me, fight disease, right? And the ones that have a lot of water are going to keep me full. Okay, sleep is always a battle to try to get enough, but it can't be stated enough how important it is. Everything I do for myself during the day is, the body can't do anything with all that I've given it unless I give it sleep. That's when it's going to take everything I've done and say, okay, let me construct that life you want me to build. So sleep is of the utmost importance. All right, number 3 is soul. Basically, what makes me happy, what motivates me. And I try to motivate myself, right? But usually, really what I keep at the forefront of my mind is I want to be there for my family. I want to be able to keep up with my kids. I want to be able to share these experiences, new experiences for myself and also with my family. I want to try new things. I've tried a lot of different things. I'm very adventurous. I want to continue to live that lifestyle. And it's all, one thing that I have to remember is mind, body, and soul kind of intertwine, and they aren't separated. They kind of go together, and they mix and they turn and they run into each other, right? And I need a little solitude once in a while, but in that solitude, I can find exercise. Sometimes in exercise, I can find that community, sometimes it's just kind of like they spill over into each other and they become this tight cord, right? And with that tight cord, I can pretty much, build my life on. Sometimes I need those mom's locked in the bathroom moments. And once in a while I get away to a spa or something like that, and I do something nice for myself, or rather my husband does. He's very sweet to me that way. But I take a lot of moments to myself. One thing that brings me a lot of joy is my faith is very important to me, and it's very important for me to fit some time to meditate and pray in my life, and that really helps to keep me focused. Without that, it's really, I'm missing something in my day. But for my family is a really big factor in keeping me motivated. I love the time that I spend with them, and I want to be able to spend that without, feeling ill or sick or being a burden on them. I want us to have a full life together. I just enjoy them so much, and the kids make me laugh. Some of the things that I would like to do more of is getting back to creating some art and things like that. It was a big part of my life in the past, and I think one day it will be again. I love creating. Right now, I feel like most of the time I end up being able to read a lot, and whether that's books on tape or just looking at books, that kind of serves a dual purpose, some quiet time and reading and getting more motivation. So like I said, it kind of all intertwines together, and I really love my moments where I'm able to, sit down and take a book and just be quiet and read for a little bit. Okay, so I hope this little video maybe inspired you a little bit to, choose a goal, develop your plan of action in order to get to that goal, and just kind of like think about it. Think about, putting together what kind of lifestyle do you want to lead, and what are you going to have to do to get there. It's going to take some sacrifice. It's going to take some, diligence and just perseverance. But, if you push through, your life will be stronger in the long run, and you'll be happier, and you'll be proud of yourself, and you'll have a legacy, right? Not just for your own family and for yourself, but for others and everyone who's watching. So anyway, thank you so much. Check out the links below. Love you guys a lot, and I wish you all the success on your journey.